Hey friends, it's me, Mandy, and I want to invite you to take what resonates with you that I'm about to say about meditation. And if it doesn't, you get to just leave it right here. But I had somebody ask me recently how to meditate because they were struggling with focusing on just their breath to get them into the zone. And I sat with spirit with it a little bit, and I thought a little bit about my own practices. And I want to reassure you that meditation does not only require you to be able to completely still your mind. One of the easiest ways to get into meditation is to kind of shift your beliefs around what it is and what the purpose is. Over time, a lot of us have been taught that meditation is necessary to achieve enlightenment, that it is a great way to promote self-care, that it's a great way to promote mental health. And while all of these are true, it also lays a burden upon us in which we think that we have to achieve this perfectly clear mind, which actually isn't truly possible. Maybe a little bit. I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there are some people in the world who can achieve a perfectly clear mind. But there are other ways to think about meditation. Ultimately, meditation is you being receptive to divine energy, external energy, internal higher energy, or calm. Okay, so what you're doing when you go into meditation, or when you set the intention to go into a meditation practice, is that you're creating a relationship with something outside of yourself, where you're kind of setting down the burden of being human and having to do all the things and know all the things and think of all the things and your to-do list and what's next and what do I have to plan and what am I supposed to be doing right now. You're creating a gap. You're squeezing out the walls of pressure that are pushing on you all the time, and you're opening it up and handing it over, or opening it up and releasing it to something outside of yourself that you want to have a relationship with. Okay, and this can be your higher self, this can be God, this can be spirit, but it can also just be your desire to feel ease in your life. Okay, so there's a bunch of different ways that you can begin a meditation practice. It's okay to use guided visualizations. It does help with that monkey mind. It gives your brain something to focus on so that you can come into starting to notice what stillness feels like to you. You can also set the intention before that you just want to be filled with light. And every time your brain goes somewhere else, just come back to feeling like you're being poured into, as if you're being poured into by whatever is your belief. That light is just pouring into you and washing like a river and kind of keeping you flowing. Okay, you can also create an image in your mind that you want to focus on. You don't have to necessarily focus on breath. The reason focusing on breath works so much for a lot of people is because it is happening in a rhythm all the time, no matter what. It doesn't stop. So it's something that is continuing to flow, that can distract your mind enough to keep you in the zone per se, so that you can receive the stillness, so that you can feel the calmness, so that you can notice what it is to you. But you can also use imagery. You can stare at a plant. You can stare at a candle. You can light incense if you prefer to have something that you smell. Ultimately, it is just going to become your desire to create this new relationship within yourself that is pulling things out of yourself. It's pulling you out of the mire of the everyday. One other visualization I like to use is actually imagining that I have a radio antenna going up in my mind. So I ground myself, I ask for protection, I get excited. I feel excited now when I go into my meditation practice, because I know that I get to hang out with spirit, that I get to have that moment of upliftment. But I do think of a radio antenna going up, and I ask to receive what I need. I don't have to will it into happening. I don't have to think about what it is that I'm doing. I don't have to know what all the steps are to get to this place. It just became, my meditation practice has become a place where I am open to receive, and I'm excited about the relationship. So the biggest advice I can give you about starting a meditation practice or doing a meditation practice is just relaxing into knowing that there's no one way to do it, okay? There are classical ways to get into meditation, but unless you're striving to become a monk, I would highly recommend finding a practice that feels right for you, and it will shift, it will change. But what you will notice is as you begin practicing more and more, you're going to find that gap that starts to get created when you focus your mind or allow yourself to sit and receive and believe that you can do this too. You will notice that you'll have heightened awareness, your intuition will go up, your calm will go up, your calm throughout the day will go up, your reactivity will go down. There's little hints along the way that will show you why the meditation practice will be good for you. And if you don't like the word meditation, think of it as building relationship or me time or self-care. If meditation is a triggering word because you've tried it so many times and you can't do it, set it aside. Just create a practice that feels right for you because it is the right next step to your spiritual practice.